I've been working on it lately. I've been putting my mom's quilts up behind me and the banners for Asian medicine. And today I've got my beautiful deerskin shirt on that was given to me by from some very good Ojibwe friends, Irish in Ojibwe, and it was a beautiful gift. Today I decided to go with the whole nature theme. I'm Rita Hickman, body mind expert, chef, massage therapist, but what I do is I help women who are in narcissistic and toxic relationships really discover how to find their way out. And I help them find their way out by things like what we're going to talk about today, which are signs in nature, which are connecting to things which help us stay on a good track. You know, I've been studying nature signs and symbols for probably most of my life. I really first started to get into Native American spirituality probably in college. The person who I was dating, who is now my husband, was really into nature. And I hadn't been involved with it as much. And he's the first one who took me camping and took me hiking. And it got me interested in Native American spirituality. And where I was going to college at the time, they were having a Native American symposium. And so I went for the weekend, and that's where I got my first name, which was South Power Spirit Woman, which eventually, over the years, I got renamed into Green Chief Woman, Ozawash Kweze Ogimokwe. And I would go to these rituals and these ceremonies, and I had drums, and I would talk to people in my field, in my profession, who were massage therapists or energy healers, and they'd always be talking about, you know, the value of signs, and they were very intent, you know, and they were very focused on it. They were true believers. And I, you know, was still in the mindset that everything that happened in my life depended upon me, and that if I was going to fix my life, I had to be the one to fix it because nobody was going to do it for me. I was still in that mindset, in the mindset of scarcity, in the mindset of fear, in the mindset of I have to dig my heels in and get myself out of this hole. So that was kind of the way that I was. And so I'd be involved in all these wonderful nature rituals and Asian American and sacred fires and the meaning of peacock feathers or books. I was constantly searching for the meaning of things without really believing in them, with saying, wow, that's really nice. And I'd participate in these beautiful outdoor ceremonies and rituals. And there was a part of me that believed in it, but didn't really believe in it. Didn't really believe that that everything would be okay, that there was a bigger flow, a bigger pattern going on. And because I didn't believe it, you know what that happens? What happens is you become obsessive. You start to be really obsessive about, why don't I understand this? Why do everybody else buy into these nature symbols and signs, but I don't? And so I wanted to really study what was going on underneath. I didn't just want to go on faith. You know, when I was a kid and I did the whole Catholic route, because I was raised Catholic, I didn't buy into spirituality because there was so much turmoil going on. There were so many things going on. But over the years, I studied and surrounded myself with things and beauty and magic and symbols and signs that at least made me feel good. And what happened is I started to recognize that when I felt good, the signs actually were more accurate. And when I felt good, I could really understand what a sign or a symbol was telling me. And it would match up almost perfectly in alignment. And then when I was calm and paying attention and I'd look around, I'd see that there were all of these signs and symbols, whether they be feathers left on the ground or gifts that people would give me, or animal bones that I would find, or tracks, or the shape of the cloud, or when the trees would wave, it's as if they were waving at me. Suddenly, when I started to look and I started to immerse myself in nature and spend that time in nature and look at things, I realized that I was always getting signs and symbols. I was always being told what to do or what the answer was. Because if I spent time keeping myself level, keeping myself calm, keeping myself centered, going for the walk, staring at the tree, watching the squirrels, even to laying naked on the ground at sunrise. And I've done that too a few times. When it was beautiful out at the beginning of this pandemic, when it started to get warm, I'd wake up early because I couldn't sleep. And I typically sleep without any clothes on. And so then I would just get up, wrap my blanket around me, go outside, put the blanket on the ground, and just lay there, comfortable, getting in vibe with the symbols of the earth, getting in vibe with the harmony, with the music, with the sound of the earth. You know, and sometimes I'd bring my drum out, or sometimes I'd bring out music to help me stay calm and level while I was working through all the stresses of the pandemic. And I started to get in tune and in rhythm with the rhythms of the earth, with the flows of the earth. And it not only kept me calm, and there's a specific thing, it's called grounding. And they have grounding cords that you can plug into an outlet that will keep you grounded. There's been a whole science on how the resonance or the vibration of the earth keeps us calm. Even in when I give massage, or when I've given massage with hot stones, we leave our stones outside so that they start to entrain, they start to vibrate literally at the same vibration as the earth. And when I would bring them in, they'd be like little pieces of you know, that the goddess earth, the mother earth, the vibration that was coming off of the earth. And it would calm people down, and it would center people, or it'd center me. I'd put it in my pocket. So when you take the time to start to spend a good amount of time around natural things, around art, music, beauty, fire, trees, animals, grass, when you give yourself permission to spend that much time, an enormous amount of time, getting yourself back in balance, being in nature, doing things that bring nature into you, that help you not just psychologically tune into nature, but physically, the warmth of stones, the warmth of the sun, breeze on your face, listening to the rustle of the wind in the trees, admiring or tending a plant or a flower that's outside. When we get into that rhythm of things, then we start to move with that rhythm. And the rhythm of the earth and the rhythm of nature is actually very harmonizing. It's in harmony. Everything is working together. Did you notice at the beginning of the pandemic how all the animals started to take over the towns, and we'd hear these reports of, you know, hundreds of thousands of turtles coming to the beach to lay eggs, or we'd hear about hundreds of thousands of butterflies that were migrating, you know, more than ever expected. There was a break in the earth. You could see Mount Kilimanjaro from Japan. The earth really did a good job in keeping things flowing in that harmony. And when you give yourself permission to be in that harmony, you start to be in harmony. Because when you're angry, hurt, stressed, upset, frustrated, what it means is that your brain is working like this again, and your body's working like this again. And you have to immediately do something that brings you back into balance. And the more time you spend in that flow, in that nature, in that space, the more time you spend doing that, the stronger you're going to be emotionally, the stronger you're going to be physically and energetically. You're going to be able to stand up to difficult situations. You're going to be able to find your roots. You're going to be able to see your way through a problem. It's when we don't give ourselves the greatest gift we can, which is to feel good, which is to feel calm, which is to feel centered. It's not a race. It's not a chore. It's not a job. It's living life and enjoying it. And the more time you spend in nature, in that flow, in that in those signs and those symbols, the more they'll speak to you. The more you'll be able to look ahead into the future. The more you'll know exactly what the right answer is, intuitively or from the little bird that literally came to you when you were stressed and reminded you of a higher thought, of a higher way of being. So you have to consciously create a life that supports you. As you've noticed over the last few days, as I've changed my background to one back here, that supports me. I have it in other areas, but now this one supports me too. My mother's quilts, my Asian medicine signs, my peacock feathers, my beautiful geisha photo, my stones and my candles and my words of wisdom. You have to create an environment for yourself and spend time in an environment, dressing and looking at and enjoying art and music and nature. And you have to do this because this is what gets us out of fear. This is what gets us out of crazy. It gets us out of toxic situations. It gets us out of toxic relationships. It gets us out of problems that we can't solve. If you don't know what to do, one of my mentors would say, do the thing you haven't done before. And if your life is surrounded by all the things that you must do that you can't get done, all the ways you're supposed to be better, all the ways you're supposed to be more perfect, you're going to stay on that rat race. And you actually won't move forward. You'll feel stuck because you'll feel trapped in a mindset, in a way of thinking that doesn't nourish you. But when you start to intentionally create environments, dress, wear jewelry, walk in nature, look for the signs, let them speak to you. Let them give you advice. Keep in that calm, centered level space no matter what, and that's when things turn out. Not just because you pushed your way and made it happen, because you were stronger or smarter or did it by yourself, but instead because you realize that you're part of something bigger that is supporting you. There's a flow, and when you let yourself be in the flow, when you get into the flow by being in that natural flow, it's so powerful to be next to the earth in whatever way you want to. Even just sitting outside drinking a glass of wine, doesn't matter. Smoking a joint, doesn't matter. Get out there, enjoy yourself, get regulated, get calm. And the birds will tell you, the butterflies will tell you, the flowers will tell you, the trees will tell you exactly what the next right move is, because then you'll be in flow. So if you'd like help with this, make sure you like these videos because then you'll see them more often. Make sure you get a pop-up, to alert you when I'm live streaming, because I kind of do it in a window. And then it'll pop up and say, hey, she's on, for your little daily dose of beauty and magic and mystery and love and insight and friendliness and understanding. So if you do those things, you'll be able to start getting into that flow. I work very hard to stay in flow. I work very hard to stay in balance, to stay regulated, to stay calm. And the more I do it, the easier it is. So when you start intentionally deciding that you are ready to live a different life, start watching these live streams and reaching out, because I can help you create a beautiful life that serves you, that also transforms all of your relationships, all of the beliefs and trauma you carry from the past, and also make you enjoy the next chapter of your life as if you were a queen. Okay? Have a great rest of your day. I'm looking forward to seeing you later. And actually, in 5 minutes, I'm going to be joining Julie. So look for Awaken Your Relationships with me and Julie Murphy. We're going to be talking about who knows what. We'll find out as her and I chat and intuit what today's topic is going to be. And so keep your eyes open. Type in Julie Murphy. Type in Awaken Your Relationships. Go to Rita Hickman and look for the event, Awaken Your Relationships. And let's get you in a good space, okay? Love you. See you soon. Bye.